What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. DJD here. It's time to play some Hell Is Us. Let's get to it. I changed my microphone settings yesterday and I forgot to check them today, so I hope it's okay. Because whatever it sounded like yesterday, it's going to sound like today. And that's just how it is. Here, let me check here. Let me check here. You're hearing echo. Check here. Let me check here. You're hearing echo. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell. I gotta watch the VOD tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, Hell Is Us. Let's do it. We found our third keystone yesterday. We went through Sinedra Forest. We knocked off a lot of, like, a bunch of more side stuff. So, we're going on to our last keystone, which is going to take us to what I think is our last new area of the game. The Leth National Library. Oh, it says if I clear all the threats out or not. Oh, I like that. I didn't know that. I like that. All right, Leth National Library. Let's do it. Let's do it. The last... new area, I think. Let's do it right away. Got a little some guards outside. We can deal with that. Yeah. Come at me, boys. Employment order. National Library, City of Leth, Jahania. Standard Protocol Alpha. Locate and contain reported anomaly. Investigate origin and evolution of site. Collect and catalog relevant materials. I think I missed stuff in Origa. Because I still have these keys, and I feel like I probably shouldn't. But, c'est la vie? What is this? Safe. What am I supposed to do with this? Safe in the garbage can? Alright, hold on, I gotta take some notes. Gotta take some notes. Alright, we had a car trunk locked. And a safe in dumpster that needs 1, 2, 3, 5 digits. I don't know if we got that code or not. I don't... we might have, but I don't remember. We know where there was the code that was the boy's birthday. I could try it on this. Because he did say it was in Leth. Why it'd be in the dumpster, I don't know. We could try 51482 or 81643. That's 5 digits. That worked before. Shit, here we go. Alright. Omni Prism Row. Wooden mask. Wooden mask featuring a carved visage with a jubilant expression. It still holds traces of faded paint. Caspian's mask. I can't believe my luck. An original carnival mask. Last night, Yilo and his wonderful wife Marlene invited me to a nice home-cooked meal at their house on the outskirts of town. They had found out through the school that I was working on a bit of research about the Week of Peace. I guess they were interested in contributing their stories. They talked my ear off all night with tales from their childhood. Then Ilio told me to hold on while he fetched something upstairs. He came back holding a wooden mask and I recognized it instantly. He explained it was an old family heirloom passed down for generations. He was ready to give it to me for my research, bless his heart. He was aglow at the idea of a mask serving an academic purpose. I told him I could never accept such a priceless item, that this was a piece of Hadean history. He and Marlene insisted quite persuasively. Eventually I accepted. Alright, history lesson, mystery solved. Beautiful. Alright. I wasn't sure if that was a safe, but I don't know. Fucking try it, right? Originally I thought that was the code to the safe in the other Leth area in Office 109. I never went back and tried that, but I guess I'm glad that I didn't waste my time on it. Alright, let's go in. I think I did everything here. Did everything out here. I hear bad guys. Alright, we got a downstairs and we got an upstairs. Let's go down first. Where you at, bro? L6, the truth will set you free. Okay. Oh, I know what this spells. It spells Yankle, which we know Yankle is... So we got K5, N1, Y7, E9, A3, L6. We know Yankle was some dictator. Y-A-N-K-L-E. Or is it E-L? Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 digits. That could be the safe in Leth. And I would think that's... all of them. Embry Hall book restoration. Alright, we got people.
I still don't see why we have to leave. 70 years I've lived in Leith. Always made it through. Always survived. We're fine right where we are.
You say so. Do you want ID cards?
No.
Alright.
Forgive my husband. He doesn't quite grasp the gravity of the situation. He still
see
believes
Yankle.
we live in the 60s in Yankle's Hadia. We must leave. For the future of our family. There is only death here.
Here, you want ID cards?
We don't need anything.
Alright.
I'm scared. Why are we hiding in the library?
Here, you want ID
What
cards?
is it?
Agath was a well-respected local politician in Leith before the war.
Yeah.
One of the few who genuinely tried to bridge the divide between Sabinian and Palamas communities. When she offered to help us leave the city, we couldn't refuse. Can't take anything.
All right. Well,
Our neighbors tried to leave the city through official channels. I saw their bodies hanging from the overpass the next day. We really don't have...
do it through illegal channels then, because, well, you know.
I'm trying to get this poor
Agath?
family out of the city. They're Palamist. They're as good as dead if they stay here. Easier said than done with all the checkpoints. I was supposed to meet with Locke, book restorer here. Since the war began, he helped me forge documents for trapped citizens, but his office is locked up tight, and I see no trace of him. Maybe it was silly of me to come here with everything that's going on. These people put a lot of trust in me. I suppose I'll try forging the documents myself.
Oh, okay. Hold
I have
on.
no idea how or where
Bet you
to
she
start.
wants the cards.
These are the exact cards we're trying to forge. Wonderful. Just need a way to officialize these somehow.
I can help you there. I only got cards. 1, 2. Okay, this is 6. I'm just gonna try it, man, because it's a 6. If it either does, it either works or it doesn't work. I'm positive I have the order right, because that would be way too coincidental. So 7, 3, YAN 1, K5, 9, 6. All right. Seven, just in case I got it wrong. 3, 1, YAN 5, 6, 5, 6, 9. Alright, that's not it. Could be the code still to the other place. I wonder if I should go try that. Part of me thinks I should just go try that really quick, because I can get in and out of there in what, 5 minutes. I don't see anything else down here, so we need to get into that room at some point. I'm gonna go try it, guys. Might not work. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-digit code. Hold on, let me check. I have it written down here somewhere. Oh no, it's only 4. It's not. Okay, it's only 4. Okay, never mind. Never mind. That Yankel's gonna be used here somewhere. I know it. I know this is where it's gonna be used. Don't you just feel something? I don't think I know anything about a key to the staff room, code to the staff room. Yes, bro, I see you. Ah, burned. Oh, I should write that down, though. Okay, so hold on. Basement door. Did this one already. So, basement door code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And staff room code, door code, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, computer room D. Somebody said something about computer room D before. Black and white Polaroid picture of a group of people. I would be very disappointed if this was where that code was used. I remember somebody saying computer room D though before. Alright, 7, 3, 1, 5, 9, 6. Damn, it is. Fuck. Alright. Grand Conspiracy. Fellow truth seekers, if you've made it this far, then you must be as interested in the absolute truth as I am. I will outline my findings here for you to judge for yourselves. I have a feeling many of you already know all of this to be true intuitively. There's something not quite right in this country. We've all felt it. Let me come right out and say it. I found conclusive evidence we are being experimented on by travelers from another world for their own nefarious purposes. Yes, aliens are among us hiding in plain sight. They've taken control of Hadia, and the globalists are covering it up. What lies below? I was a teenager in the early 50s, but I can still remember the sudden flurry of activity around Mount Obek. Barricades going up overnight. Armed men dressed in black standing guard around the mountain. What were they hiding? I believe the alien craft landed here in Hadia around that time. The craft burrowed under Mount Obek, and it's been there ever since. It was just before Gary and Yankel seized power in 52. Coincidence? Why Mount Obek? Because it stands on an incredibly powerful magnetic locus. If you look at the old historical maps, you can see ancient ley lines converging on Mount Obek. Follow the landmarks. Everything is publicly accessible here at the library. See for yourselves. The ancient Hadeans were highly attuned to these kinds of things. That's why they even founded our major cities on the ley lines. Just look at our provincial capitals. The Trisk lossless line intersects the Golmor-Lublina line right at the foot of Mount Obek. The aliens would undoubtedly have been attracted by it. Then in the 60s, they faked the moon landing to try and cover up the warp trail left when the ship arrived. With the whole world looking up into space, they needed to distract so we wouldn't question the trails in the sky. Infiltration. Let's start with Gary and Yankel. Why would the most powerful man in Hadia suddenly off himself in 82? He had consolidated all the power. Think about it. Where is the gun he supposedly shot himself with? It only makes sense when you realize he was nothing but a puppet placed there to keep us in line. Something changed in the 50s. The big players suddenly took an interest in little old Hadia. International agencies, multinational corporations, research firms. Even today, 40 years later, I still see the black-clad agents skulking around. Surely you've seen them too. Why are they still there? Who are they? Why would they come here, you ask? Good question. Power. Power and money. Big pharma, weapons manufacturing, energy research, media conglomerates, child trafficking, all of it. They're here among us, pulling the strings for their extraterrestrial masters. I don't know what kind of wicked bargain they made, but they sold us out. I've suspected for a long time they're putting something in the water to rile us up. I would advise everyone to stop drinking it immediately. I haven't drunk from the public water system in decades, and I can finally see clearly. They need us divided, fighting each other so we can't see what they're doing. Now we have the ON sniffing about. More globalists looking to dig their claws into this country. Modern Hadia is just a giant experiment, and we are the subjects. Wake up! Okay, well, we solved the conspiracy. That's why I said I was going to be very disappointed if that's what it was, because that wasn't anything, I don't think.
I got a bad feeling about this. We're not supposed to be here. This was a dumb fucking idea. Don't worry, we're clear. See how easy it was to steal this thing? I told you, nobody cares.
Bravo 384, you are not authorized for takeoff. Reduce your velocity and land immediately. I repeat, you are entering restricted airspace. Turn around and land immediately. Failure to comply will be considered a hostile action.
Holy shit, I knew it! Oh, fuck. Turn around, man. I'm not sure I know how. Whoa, what do you mean? You said you knew how to fly this thing. I've only had 3 lessons. It's a lot more complicated in practice. I'll figure it out. Fucking hell, man!
Bravo 384, this is your final warning. If you do not comply, you will be fired upon.
Fuck it, I'm not going back down there. What the fuck are you doing? They're gonna kill us. Go back. Call them their bluff. I'd rather take my chances up here, starve down there. What is that? What the fuck is that? Oh, shit! Hang on! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Well, they didn't make it. In 400 AD, one man dared to defy the divine as famine gripped the land and the poor suffered beneath the gilded weight of the illigid conclave. Sabin Gao, an erudite and reformist, put ink to parchment and changed the course of history. His thesis, a searing indictment of the conclave's corruption, demanded the separation of faith and power, an idea both revolutionary and heretical. His words ignited a movement birthing the Sabinian faith and shattering the iron grip of the Palamist priests. Yet the flames of reform came at a terrible cost. What began as a call for justice unraveled into a war that spanned generations, drowning Hadia in blood for 2 centuries. Though Sabin Gao never wavered in his convictions, he carried the weight of the suffering that followed. Was he the herald of enlightenment, or the author of an unending war? The Quill Empire explores the life of a man who challenged the gods and paid the price. Why would this be a usable item? Some of the 942, I think that's 7 digits down there, isn't it? I don't know why that would be a usable item. That means there's something on that book that they want me to reference periodically. Problem is I have no fucking idea what. Is this the door I saw? Guess needs a key. I'm gonna mark that down because I think I'm gonna naturally come across it. I'm a little bit winded around here now, I think. Here's somebody.
How
Stoned
did you
man,
get in
great.
here? Did you see those fucking things? What the fuck, man?
Converse with all NPCs, nice.
Who are you?
I'm Iblis. I worked here. Yes. I'm a file clerk.
Where is your book restoration department?
Huh? Book restoration. Yeah. We have a department for that. Basement. It's in the basement. That's where Locke works. I like him. He's a straight shooter, wearing that yellow jacket.
Where can I find Locke?
Oh, shit. We were running. I was running with Locke. Fuck. Away from those things. He fell near the cafeteria. Oh, I left him. I left him there and locked. I left him there and locked the door behind me. Here. Here. Take the key if you think you can make it. The pamphlet said, come...
I'm gonna hate going down this list.
No, that's it. Come experience the ecstasy of relief. What a joke. Whoever came up with that slogan should get fired. Enjoy our nightlife, our restaurants, our theaters, and our culture, it said. Yes, the fabulous Jahanian culture. Look at that culture now. Killing and raping their Palamas neighbors. People they've known all their lives. One day, they just got out of bed, broke into their homes as they slept, and chopped their neighbors' heads off. Preferably in front of their family, because, you know, they have to keep things classy. And then slip back into bed as if nothing had happened. That was the new normal. The next day, yeah. The next day, they felt all satisfied and shit. They would choose a new neighbor, and the cycle would continue. The new Leafian culture. And people wonder why I take this shit. It's in all of us. I mean, it's as much in you as it is in me. Some call it the serpent. Let me tell you this. All the rules, the laws, the codes, and our civility, it's all put in place for one simple truth. To keep the serpent in check. To keep it tightly shackled, locked away at the back of our minds. This is the unspoken truth that no one ever tells you, but I'll let you know. Deep down, everyone shares this dark desire. We want to set the serpent free. The ecstasy of letting our emotions run free cannot compete with people's miserable, mundane lives. This is our actual state. Our true nature, all of us. We are made of pure, unhinged barbarity. Man, where did they go anyway? It was fine having them around, but where the fuck have they gone now? They were here. Then we locals started doing a bit of killing, a bit of raping, and then they ran off. That's not cool. It's when we needed them the most. What the hell, man? It was the first time Haitians saw people from different countries. That was sweet. Even though they were fucking useless. Speaking of them running away from Haiti, there's something behind that. I'm sure of it. Did you notice? Of course you did. You put two and two together, right? The minute they were gone, say it with me, the minute they were gone, the fucking creatures appeared. Fucking right they did. Coincidence? No fucking way. I'm from a profoundly religious Sabian family. There's a lot of us. Contrary to what any Palamish son of a bitch would have you believe, or any snobbish Sabinian for that matter. They make it sound like all Sabinians woke up one day, burnt all their sacred katas, and danced naked around the pagan pyre. May his eye protect us. Leith was filled with Sabinian churches. Lablina has even more. Of course, you don't hear about that. What you do hear, though, is how open-minded we are. The only open minds you can find in Leith are the cracked skulls of Palamist bastards. Brains spilled all over the streets. I might have split open a few myself. The stuff you can do with just the heel of your boots. Oh, what's there to say? I was okay with them. I was okay with them until I let the serpent take hold. Why? I have some family who live in Argola, right on the Jahanian border, in the Palamist village of Hetel. After Yankel's death, ethnic tensions started brewing in Hetel. In the local school, they began segregating the Sabinian kids. My nephew had the misfortune of writing a love letter to a Palamist girl that evening. The girl's dad beat my 14-year-old nephew so severely that to this day, he's still eating through a tube. Which ones? Palamists? Sabinians? Or do you mean the new ones creeping around all over the place? Wanna hear the wildest shit ever? The night they appeared, the creatures, right? Bloody New Year's Eve. I'm in my apartment. It hadn't been blown to pieces yet. I'm coming back down from my high. I pulled the curtain to get some air. On the street, I saw some Sabinian thugs, armed to the teeth. They had themselves some Palamists, and they're fucking ecstatic. A man, probably the husband, was lying in the middle of the road. Next to him, the Sabinians were dropping cinder blocks on his wife's head. Repeatedly. And that's when it happened. It was as if time had slowed down or completely stopped. And then I felt it. Or more precisely, I felt nothing. All my feelings and emotions had gone. I never felt so at peace. My thoughts were so clear, so precise, uncompromised. Then, in a flash, the thugs and their Palamist prey got engulfed in a weird, sphere-like, wobbly thing. And all my pain, sorrow, confusion, and hatred came crashing back. shot up again.
So he's a crackhead, but that we already kind of know that that's how the creatures come about. Smoking in the break room. I just noticed that. We know how that's how the creatures come about. So strong emotion creates a time loop where they're stuck in that emotional moment to relive it over and over. And from that time loop, these creatures spawn from that recycling emotion so that they infinitely spawn. So when we... That's the wrong key. So when we destroy the time loop, the monsters stop respawning in that area. Again, that's all. That's all information. I don't think we've ever been explicitly told, but we've been able to piece together obviously pretty accurately, so that's good. Oh, this is good. Restoration Office Code. Embry has the answer. Leth Foundation. Lublina Alliance Creation. Embry has the answer. Leth Foundation. Lublina Alliance Creation. I don't quite know what that means right now, but we'll figure it out. Fuck. Okay, so these are still locked. Right. How do I get into this section of the... place over here, I think. Oh yeah, I can jump down here. Explore this level. Oh, one more. You done? I think we done. Okay, green is always a safe one. That's a glyph. Very nice. Oh, here's the Lublina Alliance. The year 734 AD saw a sweeping change in the political landscape of Hadia. The theocratic Illigad conclave was abolished to make way for the secular Lublina Alliance. For centuries, Hadeans had suffered under the oppressive thumb of theocrats. The rise of Sabinism saw that the Palamist conclave no longer represented the interests of the people. Religious tension was at an all-time high, with revolts erupting across the region. From the ashes of the overthrown theocracy, an alliance blossomed between the most influential noble houses. The country would be split into provinces. Argola, Umbrahan, Jahania, and Asteria were partitioned and placed under the rule of houses Argau, Umbra, Jahan, and Aster respectively. No longer would the people of Hadia be ruled by theocratic tyrants. Okay, so that's not what I want. It might be what I want in a second, but... Embry has the answer. Leth Foundation Lublina Creation Alliance. So there's the Lublina Alliance. That's 734. And there's a 400 here. But that's not the Leth Foundation. So I'm not sure that one's actually relevant, but it might be.
Here I am at the National Library. I should be doing research for the story, but my mind is elsewhere. All I can think about is the recent disappearances. 1 journalist is a tragedy. 2, a curious coincidence. 3, that's a pattern. I have a responsibility to protect my family. They didn't choose to pursue this story. I did. I can't put them at risk by continuing to dig into this. I can't help but feel that I'm betraying my integrity as a journalist. The truth deserves to be heard. I can only hope that someone braver than I can expose it.
Right, this is Lady Margaret Scandal and Steel, recovered for her wisdom and feared for her iron will. Lady Margaret reshaped Argola's justice system by creating the Solzana Watch in 807 AD. An elite guard sworn to uphold peace and arrest those who dared commit violence, but when she appointed the captain of her personal guard as its first leader, whispers of a forbidden romance spread like wildfire through the court. Was their bond truly one of duty, or did Lady Margaret's heart betray the crown? Accused of elevating her alleged lover to a position of unmatched power, she faced both political upheaval and personal disgrace. Lady Margaret's Scandal and Steel unravels the truth behind the legend, exploring the fine line between devotion and treason in a time when power was as perilous as love itself. Historical Leth, City of Wonder. Few cities in Hadia can boast of such a robust cultural heritage as Leth. Details are scant, but historians believe the city was founded in 537. I think that one's more important. Leth quickly became a haven for those fleeing religious persecution due to its founding principles that promised freedom and liberty for all. A promise that persists to this day. During the next 2 centuries, Leth would become the most populous city in the nascent country. The fledgling noble house ruling the city would see their influence proliferate rapidly, and so House Jahan was born. Leth would remain their seat of power until the creation of the Lublina Alliance in the 8th century. Alright, don't see anything else, so I'm thinking suspicious activity. Have you noticed some of the other employees have been acting odd around us lately? I think something illegal is going on right under our noses. I don't trust them one bit. I'm going to secure the locker room until I figure out what's up. If they want access, they can come to one of us to let them in. The new code is 5055. You and I are the only ones who know it. Okay, I think that's the staff room. The one that was labeled staff room. I think that was the one that was labeled staff room in the first part of the area. I'm actually going to unlock both these doors so that I have the cross through. Is there a third one? Are these all? Okay, they are. All right. All right, I'm not going to do that yet, because I think ultimately that's the way to go. Or that's the end of what we're looking for. Alright, how was that? Good. Oh, that's a corpse. Oh, and these are the guys that probably made said corpse. Locke, you're a son of a bitch and you know it. We both agreed to the deal. I already paid you in full, now you threaten to report me? For what? You have no honor, you greedy bastard. Here are the keys to my car. It's the red and blue SUV. You'll find your payoff in the trunk. I expect my ID cards to be delivered promptly. I don't know why I trusted a Sabinian. Here's hoping I never have to deal with your kind again. Okay, that gets me outside. That's good. So I can go get that now. It's just right out here, so we may as well go take care of it. Where was it? Oh, new cap. Pottery fragment, an aged clay pot fragment on which several figures are painted below a mountain. Okay. Alright, I think I have what I need to go downstairs now. I don't think I saw any other stuff here, so... maybe this isn't the last area. Alright, so we got a 6-digit code. Embry has the answer. Leth Foundation, Loblina Alliance creation. So... Leth Foundation was 537. I believe this was 807. No. 537. 400. There it is. Alright. I was way off. That was the fucking last one I thought of.
I've spent the evening poring over the newest arrival from Patham Abbey. Marvelous. Truly a spectacular piece. The binding, the leatherwork, the embroidery, oh, just exquisite. The accompanying letter states that it originates from the mid-9th century. Truly amazing. By far the oldest project I've worked on. I can smell the 1,000 years of musty history wafting up from its pages. Delectable. I could hardly contain my excitement. I began working immediately. Upon the very first incision to the leather-bound cover, I made a startling discovery. A strange, narrow object folded into the fabric. It is clearly ancient. I doubt even the priests know of its existence. The enigmatic nature of this tome continues to astound me. I've set the relic aside for now. Once the restoration is complete, I'll endeavor to find out more.
Okay. Okay, this is the double snake thing. In the hollowed hills of Vissa, the faithful begin their ascent. Only with supreme conviction shall they hope to gain ingress into the great serpent's maw. Ecstasy awaits only those of unwavering devotion. Okay, I assumed we were going to get the double snake thing here. I assumed that's what we were going to get here. Locke, a few people here at the ministry are starting to get suspicious. I had to move the drop location to Office 109. Hey, there we go. The code is 2703. You can pick it up anytime after 9 p.m. As for the blank cards, same place as usual. Okay, so I'm going to guess whatever the second thing she needs to forge these cards is here. 2703. Listen, this is the last time. You and I are square after this. I'm out. If you had any sense, you'd stop this forging nonsense before you get yourself hanged. These people don't fuck around. Alright, let's go do that then. And then we'll bring him back to her. And then... we're gonna go to Vista Hills, which I imagined would be where one of these would take us.
Hey, I found additional information on the Serpent Mound mentioned in the Gospel of Tear.
Bro, I already know.
Let me know if you want more information on anything you find out there.
Tanya, do you know anything about the Serpent's Maw mentioned in the book?
The two-headed snake artifact embedded in the Holy Book's cover remains a mystery. Let's face it, knowing Hadia and its old ruins, it probably opens something, right?
Bro, the people in this country are so fucking stupid. There's a big door in Vista Hills with a double snakehead symbol on it. What the fuck you think goes there? It's not even rocket science.
As for the Serpent's Maw, it's located in the Vista Hills. I
That's some
remember
big
seeing a
archaeological
giant
mystery.
serpent head sticking out of the ground. The snake's body twists and turns all over the rocky ridges. You can see the snake's head from where we first met. It's due east. I'd start looking there.
Holy crap. Thank you.
Find anything out there? Interesting.
Gentleman
find.
scholar?
Let's see what the server can tell us about it.
Alright.
I finished my first draft on the Order of the Eye.
Alright, let's learn about the Order of the Eye. The Order of the Eye manuscript draft by Tanya Alver, January 1993. Hadeans lived under the heavy-handed theocracy that ruled with an iron grip for centuries. This powerful religious elite only seemed to fill their coffers with gold and their bellies with hard-earned harvests. Many scholars consider this period of Hadean history as the darkest, and that's saying something. You know the saying, every revolution is only 3 meals away. This one was no exception. However, unlike most, this uprising didn't start with a sword, but with a pen. In 400 AD, a young man named Sabin Gao dared to write a thesis demanding religious reform and separation of state and religion. This idea sent shockwaves across the land and caused many to question their theocrats. But power is addictive and seems impossible to let go of. The response of the Ilgad conclave was nothing short of excessive cruelty, torturing and burning anyone at the stake who questioned their authority. However, the brutal response only seemed to fuel the revolution. Several noble houses raised their armies and declared themselves Sabinian reformists, while others declared themselves Palamist traditionalists, remaining loyal to the conclave. In 404 AD, both armies stormed the field in Vista Hills. The battle lasted 3 long days. The reformists were victorious, and sadly this was only the beginning. The revolution died that day, only to be replaced by a cruel and bloody civil war that would last over 200 years. On the brink of a complete collapse of Hadean society, 8 brave souls, 4 Palamists and 4 Sabinians risked everything to conspire for peace. Unending conflict and guild of lucidity. On a scale never before seen, cruelty and wickedness deeply scarred the population on both sides. Extreme acts of barbarity and savagery were commonplace, and the country was trapped in a never-ending cycle of destruction. The war raged across the land for 200 years with little repose. Deeply rooted hatred and the thirst for shedding the other side's blood seemed inconsolable. Desperate times called for desperate measures. 8 scholars from both sides of the conflict worked together, setting aside old hatreds to form the Guild of Lucidity. This guild operated with the utmost secrecy. If discovered, the Sabinian conspirators would have been hanged and quartered, while the Palamists would have been burned at the stake. They had a new enemy to fight. From the horrifying barbarity of the last 200 years, it was clear to them that human emotions and passions were the root cause of horror and misery. The curse of TR had run amok for far too long. The guild's members looked to the old scriptures for answers, but after searching through old books, scrolls, and clay tablets, they found only a series of dead ends. Many years passed, and just as the Guild of Lucidity was about to give up, an ancient clay tablet was uncovered, almost by accident. Etched on it was a passage that strongly suggested the Eye of God was in fact real. As the Kata states, the Eye of God was a gift left behind by Setharus to rid humans of the effects of the curse of TR. Could this myth be true? Could the Eye be found? Could its mythical and symbolic powers be the solution to peace? The Order of the Eye. With renewed hope, the Guild's members feverishly investigated the past to find more clues. They searched the church's holy libraries and private collections, examined ancient art and artifacts, and rummaged through old ruins and sacred sites. After several years, their efforts paid off. Etched in the weathered and heavily eroded rocks of an old megalithic site, a map of sorts was barely visible. Carved in the stone was a faint depiction of the Eye of God surrounded by worshippers. Above the eye towered a very distinct mountain. This representation could only be in one location, Mount Obek. Near the summit, the guild found an entrance to a strange and eerie place. Beyond the entrance were a series of cyclopean mazes that were arduous and complex to navigate and took the scholars a few years to figure out. After navigating through the maze, they finally discovered the Eye of God. Upon this remarkable discovery, the Guild of Lucidity changed their name to the Order of the Eye. The scholars of the Order of the Eye soon experienced the Eye of God's power. According to several accounts, they all felt utterly devoid of emotion, being instead aware of intense and sharp sense of clarity and rationality. After several years in the presence of the Eye of God, studying and researching, they noted that it had a cyclical nature. Its power seemed to disappear only to come back several years later. They began to time its cycle and correlated its sequence to other natural cycles, but nothing matched. The scholars also realized that the Eye's effects on people's emotions barely exceeded the Eye of God's chamber. The Order of the Eye knew they couldn't invite the entire country into its chamber. The scholars devised a plan. The Eminous Shroud. Scholars, alchemists, apothecaries, and other men and women of different disciplines began to experiment with the Eye of God. They wanted to increase its range, expanding its emotion-canceling effect. To stop the carnage, the scholars had to ensure the Eye's impact could reach the entire population. Only then could they use the Eye of God to neutralize their fellow citizens' passions and emotional excesses to stop the war. They began to pinpoint and predict its cycle. After several such cycles and years of research, the group finally created a machine to increase and widen the Eye's power, the Eminous Shroud. The religious wars ravaged the country were now running at an all-time high. The scholars impatiently waited for the subsequent activation of the Eye of God, and when it arrived, they turned on the Eminous Shroud. People across the country felt its effect in the blink of an eye. However, deep beneath the mountain, the Eye of God began to hum and vibrate at a different pitch. The Eminous Shroud had worked, and the Eye of God widened its gaze across Hadia. Unforeseen side effect. The scholars activated their device, augmenting the Eye's emotional dampening effect. It was a success. The war had stopped partially due to the effects of the Eye, but there was another unexpected reason: time loops. The scholars described them as moments of boundless human horror and violence caused by the euphoria of destructive emotions trapped in an endless cycle. The people inside are cursed to relive the hideous acts of barbarity over and over. Time loops had appeared throughout the country. This unforeseen side effect was an unmitigated disaster. They had stopped the war, but at what cost? All they knew was that the Emerald Shroud, their range-expanding device, certainly caused it. The scholars of the Order of the Eye panicked. They were too late when they returned to the Eye's chamber to disassemble their device. It had disappeared. The scholars had no choice but to find a way to stop the time loops. Many attempts at stopping them ended with disastrous results. They seemed impossible to stop. The scholars were on the verge of giving up until they discovered a strange new substance. This material would vibrate softly while in proximity to time loops. The scholars used the substance to create what they called an Amine prism, and after several tests, the scholars concluded that someone had to bring a prism to the center of the time loops to destroy them. Brave souls called proto-martyrs sacrificed themselves to shut down the time anomalies. After stopping numerous time loops, the scholars provoked another unforeseen side effect, and the first limbic invasion began. First limbic invasion. Creatures of unspeakable horror leaped out of the time loops, ferociously defending them. The reformists and traditionalists were losing villagers, farmers, and soldiers. It was time to put aside old hatreds and form a military coalition. An entire army of former enemies, Palamists and Sabinians, charged the monstrous beasts. After several assaults and losing hundreds of soldiers, they killed only one creature. Demoralized and badly beaten, the soldiers took defensive positions. The scholars returned the creature's corpse to a secret location where they examined it. They discovered a strange material, limbic shards, a strange alloy within its remains. They summoned the most reputable blacksmiths of the land. They developed a unique and astonishing new type of blade from the new material, called limbic weapons. The blacksmiths were sworn to secrecy and brought into the Order of the Eye. They built a well-hidden location where they could craft these new weapons. It came to be known as the First Limbic Forge. The proud blacksmiths identified themselves as the Anvils of Modus, after their leader Calvin Modus. They worked the forge tirelessly and forged and produced many of these new weapons. To help fight the invaders, the Order of the Eye needed a cast of warriors. The Full Guard was created to protect the Order of the Eye and help destroy time loops and the creatures protecting them. The Order of the Eye devised a plan for the country to truly band together and end the prospect of future religious wars for good. The Scholars would provide limbic weapons to both sides and let them annihilate the monstrous invaders together as one. The Scholars secretly and purposely left limbic weapons in known holy sites across the country on both sides, manipulating the people's religious beliefs. They united their forces and put these divine gifts to good use. The beasts' numbers dwindled, and at night the Scholars sent their brave proto-martyrs into the time loops, shutting them down one after the other until they were no more. The first limbic invasion had gone. The Order of the Eye had lost control. Their device, which had caused the calamity, had merged with the Eye of God. They didn't understand why or how it had happened, but they couldn't access it anymore. The Scholars knew it wouldn't be the last invasion. They looked to the future with a deep sense of foreboding. Had they damned Hadia? Subsequent evasions. The Scholars of the Order of the Eye diligently continued their research into the Eye of God. They attempted to regain control of the Eminous Shroud, but all their efforts and hard work yielded no results. The only thing the Scholars could do was continue developing and improving limbic weapons and train their Full Guard for the inevitable. The Scholars and Full Guard infiltrated the highest spheres of Hadean society to maintain order and stability. Their Full Guard would thwart uprisings, civil unrest, and all-out wars through manipulation and espionage. They had become ruthlessly efficient and highly resourceful. They had successfully prevented several invasions, however they weren't always successful. The Order of the Eye and their Full Guard couldn't stop Lord Astor's ambitions to conquer Hadia for himself. They failed to thwart the rebellion against Lady Margaret's iron grip over her people. They fell short when it came time to stop one of their own from forming a fanatical cult. They failed to prevent the Blood Queen's wrath against the Sabinians. Despite their vigilant interference, the time loops and limbic entities made their grim appearance, devastating Hadia each time. They inflicted heavy losses amongst Hadeans and Full Guards. The future was bleak. Indeed, the Order of the Eye needed a less costly solution. They decided to rule the country themselves. Achieving peace. The Order of the Eye began its rule in 950 AD by maintaining a masquerading monarchy they controlled entirely, with members acting as king and queen. They would reinstate both religions with new leadership and adaptations of the Holy Book and prayers. A new holiday and custom rose from this new leadership. The new tradition lasted 2 weeks. In the first week, the country grinds to a halt to enjoy parties, feasts, music, and playful activities. It was named the Great Unburdening and is now known as the Carnival. It's meant for participants to indulge in excessive alcohol consumption, food, music, culture, and all-around partying. In the second week, the people celebrate through fasting, repentance, and reflection. It is known as the Week of Peace. It is a time of absolute peace and harmony. By decree, no violence or conflict would continue during the Week of Peace. For this entire week, everything is closed. Essentially, the Scholars turned peace into a sacred holiday, which coincided with the Eye's cycle every time. The Scholars' plan had worked. The country was finally on the right track, and they circumvented the sphere's effects through what would become the country's most essential and cherished cultural event, the Purge of Knowledge. In the Week of Peace and Carnival, if the Week of Peace and Carnival were to succeed, the Order of the Eye needed the population to forget every aspect of limbic invasions. Limbic entities must turn from fact to religious stories, metaphors, and allegories, much like the Eye of God did for so long. This purposefully imposed amnesia didn't happen overnight. The Scholars wanted to wipe out all knowledge of the limbic invasions. This immense task of censorship would fall into the capable hands of a few handpicked scholars and their trusted Full Guard. It was impossible to remove everything, but by changing, adjusting, and twisting specific facts, limbic entities became demons, beasts, and mythological creatures as generations passed. Limbic invasions would become stories told by grandfathers to regale their grandchildren or used as sermons uttered in churches, fear-mongering their followers. Even speaking of limbic entities became a sin. Factual limbic lore fell out of general population's knowledge. The complexity of the 20th century. The Scholars of the Order of the Eye quickly realized that they would lose what they had managed to avoid for over 1,000 years. The mere thought of the Eye of God accessing the amount of violence and bloodshed on a global scale terrified them. It was easy to think a nation could have ambitions to dominate the world through the Eye, augmenting its range of influence to cover several countries if not the entire globe. The 20th century's conflicts weren't the only things that greatly worried the Scholars. From the 2 global wars, new technologies came to light. The telephone, radio, radar, and other communication advances made the world smaller. Information at large circulated at a higher speed and was transmitted by another newly founded organization, the International Press. The globe also moved at a faster pace. Automobiles, trains, planes, and boats had been developed for the war, but had become commercialized, bringing smaller and remote nations to the world stage. The scholars needed help. Keeping the world outside their country was an impossible task. It was time for the Order of the Eye to seek help from the outside world.
I discovered a vault of forbidden knowledge in Maristan.
Okay, we gotta go there too. Search below the ruins of the Ravita estate in Maristan. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture of that. Alright, we got some stuff we gotta do. That was a long read, but honestly I thought that was a good read. We're gonna go to the Ministry of Cultural Primacy first and take care of that office code. That was a long read, but I thought it was a good read. Because it really just fleshed out exactly what the time loops were. So now we know exactly what the time loops were and what the monsters are. And why they keep popping up and how they deal with it and all that fun stuff. I can't remember if it was up or down. I feel like it was down, so I think I'm going the wrong way. This guy's still here?
How could we have been so peevy? We lost our... And this one?
Bro, go home. Somewhere. Go somewhere resembling home. Okay, here it is right here. Isn't it? $10... 109, here it is. 2703. Alright, there's an official Hadean stamp, so you stamp the pads. That makes sense. Alright, so we can give that to the woman. We can give that to the woman. I don't know which way I'm going. I know that's not right. There you go.
This should be all
Nice.
I need for the documents.
All right.
Thank you. You've given these people a chance.
Hell yeah, I have. All right, another good deed accomplished. A way out. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. So there's one good deed here that I don't even know what it is. Hopefully it's in Vissa Hills. Otherwise I've just completely missed it. Limbic door. Everything in Talju is done. Everything in Marston is done, except we gotta go back and get the Forbidden Knowledge. Leth National Library is done. Leth Minstrel is done. Jelgin. Okay, that's a Limbic chest. Orga Museum Whistleblowers. I think I need to go back to Orga and figure out where that key is used. I don't think I did it. I think I have to go back to Orga and figure out where that key is used. But we'll go to Maristan first and do the... We'll figure stuff out. We'll see what we've missed. Probably once I get the 4th key. Because I would imagine by then I would have had the ability to get everything. I don't know. We shall see. Okay, where did it say it was? I remember seeing it, I just don't remember where. Below the ruins of the Ravita estate. Below the ruins of the Ravita estate. Was that over here? I think it was. I think that's the Ravita estate. So we know there was, oh, maybe right here. No, this wasn't it. I remember seeing it, I just don't remember where. But I didn't write it down, so I thought I would remember. I think this is just a straight tunnel, so I don't think it's down here per se, but there might be... Oh, it was. Okay. Alright. Vertical eye, sideways eye, SU. Alright. Let's do it. Vertical eye. Sideways eye. Where's sideways eye? Sideways eye. Backwards S. And U. Done and done. Cliff. Thank you. Painting Queen Ravita. A faded painting depicting Queen Harva Ravita, Wrath of Palom, found in a vault of forbidden knowledge. This is a miscellaneous item. What would it be for? Another glyph. Another glyph. Become unfettered by the exertion of combat, remove stamina costs. Another Amine prism. Another glyph. All we sought was an end to spite, hatred, and madness, an end to the constant spilling of blood. Long did we wander until wearied were our steps. Then labored we with sweat and sorrow, and found we the greatest thing of all, gazing upon us the eye. And in our folly, we cast doom upon us all. And now an age has passed, and the echoes of truth grow dim. An age has passed, and yet no wisdom dawns. Still, the blight we wrought knows no end. Still, we grasp not the means to sunder the curse of our own making. Scholar Jish, 14th of its name. Between limbic invasions, the Hellion formations were never unmade, and their banners never furled. Instead, they swelled in might and renown, their doctrines and sigils no longer the secrets of warriors alone, but the knowledge of all Hadeans. The fortress and chapels of the Hellion lodges rose across the land, each shaped by the creed of those within. Their walls bore the marks of their respective foe, patterns of warding, low reliefs of omens, statues of defiance, and sigils of dread, all woven from the visual essence of the entities they swore to vanquish. Every stone, every carving, every relic whispered of the foe for which it was wrought, a visual vow mimicking the very creatures they are sworn to slay. Time passed, and what was once the styling of the lodges had become the people's inheritance. In the vaults of temples and the battlements of keeps, in the carvings upon stone and the flowing script upon parchment, in the weave of garments and the painter's brushes, the mark of the Hellion lodges, aesthetics could often be seen, no longer cosmetics of war, but now the breath of the land and its people. Alright, I don't see anything else. I got so many of those prisms. Like, am I going to use them all? Because I really have a lot of them, but if I'm going to use them all, I have no fucking idea where, because I'm only missing, like... Unless there's, like, still a bunch more areas. Like, look, I'm missing one in Sinedra Forest. And I kind of know where it is. And I'm guessing, because there's an entire second half of Vissa Hills, I'm guessing there's another one in Vissa Hills. But, like... Fucking how many more are there? Because I have like fucking 7 prisms. Alright, we're going to Vista Hills, guys. Alright, so safe office is done. Actually, there's one thing I do want to check. The coffer of the ancient cemetery of Saban's faithful, which I believe is Jelgin. Yeah, missing another red one there. Oh, we did the urn to the guy in Jelgin. We did that. That limbic rod is done. We did the basement door code. We did the car lock. We did all these numbers. The only other thing, like I said, the only other thing that really... I still have on my thing, other than a few limbic rods and the time loop in Sinedra, which is behind limbic rods, is that key in Orga Locker. That Orga Locker key. The fact it's still in my inventory means that I never... I'm fairly confident it means I never found that door. I believe that means I never found that door. But we'll deal with that later. Let's go to Vista Hills. This is the next area. We've already been to half of it. Now we're going to explore the second half, which is probably where the key is. I don't know if we'll get through this tonight, but we'll get as far as we can. First, I'm going to go visit that guy and turn in my time loops and good deeds.
Remember. What's our status on time loops?
Good.
Oh. Nice. Okay, we got a glyph, passive relic. Carefully prepare your first strike, increasing melee damage against enemies at full health. Watched over from on high, becoming impervious to harm. That one's not bad either. Alright, good deeds.
Have I helped enough?
The bare minimum.
Whatever. While grievously wounded, all sources of healing are more effective. Become possessed of singular talent, removing limbic energy costs. Alright. So, regardless of what that guy said, so we did a lot. We're literally only missing one good deed, so that guy can go fuck himself. Which I imagine I would think we'll find it here. I would think we're gonna find the last good deed here. I could be wrong. There's also a forbidden door here somewhere, because I couldn't find it in the first half of the level, so it must be in the second half. Alright, I think the easiest way to get to it is to go back this way. Oh, there's also... I should open my Vista Hills. There's also a chest. There's also a chest there. There's also a chest in this tower. Okay. Token of the Serpent. Is that a research item? It's possible I need this. It's possible I need this for the door. Chest near mine. I don't remember where the door is. It's not over here. I think I gotta go up and around here. Yeah, I think it's where the snake is. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, that's the snake door. Done. Let's see what we got. They don't want me going back. There's only level 2 here, this is kind of weird. Okay, I imagine those guys are not bound. Like I said, I imagine there's another time loop here. Continue your ascension through the Serpent's Coil. The way will yield to the token of the moon. Alright, so we're looking for a moon thing. I'm not going to bother writing it down because I reckon it's a main thing. Allie, mine entrance by the water tower, you idiot. Okay. Alright, we got a mine key. There were a few doors in the mines. There were a few doors in the mines that I couldn't unlock, so that lock hopefully takes care of either one or both of them. It's faster to just do that. Alright, this is back, I think. Maybe not. Oh, I can look. The only thing I'm losing is time. Well, he said mine near the water tower, so let's investigate, yeah? This is the mine near the water tower. I believe there is a locked door here. Yeah, right here. And it's got the symbol on it. Good. Don't know if that was the other locked door or not. I have to go back through the mine a little bit to find out. Okay, there's a token of the moon. So that's done. That door's open. Alright, we got a yellow limbic rod. I'm going to start a new page here because it's a Hills 2. Limbic rod. Ruins. Past. Snake door. It's yellow. Squares. All right. Do I go back down into the mines? Probably the answer is yes. Let's finish exploring the mines. I think that's the smart thing to do. Come here. Alright, so there are time loop guardians, which means there is another time loop. Means there is another time loop in this part of Vista Hills. That's fine, that's good to know. Alright, so there's another door that we unlocked and then just walked past, because why not? Where was that? No, that's the first one we unlocked. This one. Oh, that's the other side of that. Okay. Okay, this is the other door downstairs in the mine that I saw. Oh wait, there's another one though. I'm pretty sure this is the... Look, hold on. I'll know. Once I come out, I'll know. This is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Okay, good. Wahoo. Okay, where's that other door? Right here. This also has the mine thing on it. Why is this? Oh, Nora. Good, how are you? Oh, hold on. All right, this is the other rod we need for Sinedra. Watcher's Nest Eternity. As the hours of the day slip by, as the months of the year pass, and the seasons turn, in the four corners of Hadia are vigilant jurors. Shit, what does this mean? 24, 12, 4. Let's go write this down real quick. 24, 12. 4, 4. I don't know what I would use this for. Something like that. We'll find it. Do I remember you? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Of course I do. It was only yesterday that we spoke. I hope anybody would remember. I hope anybody would... I guess unless they work in customer service. I guess it's a little different, but... I hope anybody would remember somebody from just 24 hours ago. Okay, I don't know what that means, but we have what we need for Sinedra Forest now, so we can close that time loop. That's pretty cool. Can I give you a reply on Discord? Yeah, sorry, I didn't get a chance to do it. I mean, I looked really quickly. I just didn't get a chance to reply. I mean, they look cool, but I mean, I said it yesterday. I'm not looking for any art. All right. Actually, this is. Does it matter which way I go here? But they looked good, you know, and I do wish you luck in finding artists. But why? I just don't need art. Don't want art. Don't want to pay for art. Standard reason. Is there any issue? Yeah, well, no. I just don't want to pay for art. It's not any slight on you. I don't think your stuff is bad. I will say no to everybody who asks me that. Yeah. I don't have financial issues. I just don't view it as something I want to spend money on. I have emotes for my channel. I have a profile picture I like. I have no need for art. All right. All right, let's get going. But like I said, I think your stuff is good, and I wish you continued success. And I'm sure there are a lot of people on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, who definitely do need art. Alright, so we got the moon. Do I put it in now or do I finish? I'm gonna not put it in now. I'm gonna not put it in now. I feel like I don't need it. Okay, that's the other area. Bro, it doesn't even matter, dude. I'm coming up there to beat your ass. Yo, bro, back away. Alright, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Again, it has nothing to do with affording. Has nothing to do with money. Has nothing to do with money. I just have no interest. I believe my channel is where I want it to be right now. And yeah. If I wanted art, I know where to go to get art. You know what I mean? No problem. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Like I said, I wish you luck, though. I hope you become a very successful artist or graphic designer or whatever, you know, whatever you're choosing to launch this into. And that one day I can say, yeah, that person came into my channel, you know? I don't know if I've been in here or not. Is this just a loop? Fuck, now I'm really lost. God damn it. The fact there's nothing down this way makes me think that I just went into a loop. I vaguely remember this. Strange as it sounds, I vaguely remember that corner with the light, but if they're just reusing assets, that might be why. Oh, nope. Aha. Aha! Alright, we're doing good. I need that white thing. I need that white light. Okay, so I think this area is new. Oh, another cap! Man, we just be finding all them baseball caps. So let's see, what we got? We got ecstasy, grief, there's rage. There's terror. I wonder if we have them all. I wonder how many caps there are. Because there's a trophy for getting and wearing all the caps. And I'm not too worried about that until I know I've gotten all the caps. Alright, I saw this from way down the way. Is that it? There's nothing else here? Wait, did I go... I'm guessing that was it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing that was it. Did I do this? I don't know if I did this. No, I didn't. Alright, it's another time loop guardian. It's not all of them though. Get to that one. I think that's Time Loop Guardian. I think I get to them through the moon door, which I can go do now. I think I did everything in that mine. I'd be surprised if I didn't. Alright, through the moon door. We're still gonna need those double serpent heads at some point. I don't know when. This area's been pretty... Oh, fuck. Straightforward. Other than some shit in the mines, it's been pretty straightforward, all things considered. I wonder if there's another boss fight in this area. They should have done a boss fight at every key. That would have made sense. So far we've only done one boss fight. It was a pretty cool boss fight. Good way to use normal enemies. But I would like to see more. Okay, there's the time loop. But we don't have everything we need for it yet. Alright, there's the yellow limbic rod. Is that the one I needed here? Limbic rod ruins yellow. Okay, I think it was. To the coffer of the rolling hills of bygone strife. Yeah, that's this area. Alright, which means we can go do that. May as well go do that now. Well, actually, I have to jump down somewhere. I'll find that first. What is this one? A hand. And there's a hand right there. But where is the... Did I not, like, go high enough to reach the thing that was throwing shit at me? I need a haircut. I need to get a haircut because I need to read. Guys, I found out yesterday. I found out yesterday my driver's license expired in January. I had no fucking idea. They used to send you a letter, all that's fun stuff. They don't do that anymore. From head to head, so shall you complete your ascension. The way will yield to the token of the palm. The token of the palm sounds fucking lame. So I found out that not only my driver's license, also my health card. Also my health card. They used to like send you letters, now they don't anymore. It's kind of garbage, honestly. Alright, that's time loop guardian. There's token of the palm. Still think that's a lame name. So I have to go renew my driver's license. I tried to do it. Oh, this needs a key of... Okay. Key of 2 serpents. Chest. Near time loop. They send you a notice and I guess they don't do that anymore. So I didn't even pay it. How many people just look at their driver's license all the time? That they know, you know? I don't know. I guess some people are anal about that, but me, I assume the government's gonna tell me when I'm doing something, when I'm reaching a point where I'm about to do something illegal. Like drive without a driver's license. But apparently I'm wrong. Oh, is this what we're looking for? Are we at the end? A wretched tangle of lies, the 7-irised one spins upon you. You are not his flock, and his eye casts but a hollow gaze. Let not his honeyed words ensnare your hearts. Abandon the false path and heed the call of ecstasy. Dance, O lost ones, dance in wild revelry, till the earth quakes and our two-headed father wakes. For his is the throne of this world. For his is the dominion over our hearts and soil alike. Anyways, my point is I tried to renew it online, because that's an option, you know, it's pretty quick, right? But I wasn't allowed to because I need a new picture. So I have to get my hair cut so I get a new picture for my driver's license. To the esteemed Francis Aldrich, I write to you this day in a bid to resolve the conflicts of the past. I prefer to settle the matter diplomatically as civilized persons. I choose the path of mercy. In this, my husband and I differ greatly. Be grateful that it is not he who writes this letter. Though I do not support your cause, you may consider me sympathetic to your plight. It was mere centuries ago that the Sabinian Reformation suffered comparable persecution during its humble beginnings. I will not abide similar bloodshed under my rule. I believe tolerance is the key to a united Hydia. I hereby bequeath unto you a territory in the north of Jahania, known as the Plains of Mist. Here you'll be free to conduct your rites of worship and develop your community however you see fit. In exchange, you and your followers are to remain within the territory's borders and away from the faithful communities of the kingdom. You will also provide a yearly tithe to the crown as restitution for this generous accommodation. The attendants accompanying this letter will assist you with the relevant details. Oh, there is another area. We gotta go to the Plains of Mist now. Oh, fascinating. Oh, and here's this motherfucker. Okay. Alright, it's another one. Was that the last one? It was. Alright, gotta go take care of that time loop. We gotta go take care of that time loop. Why is it taking me all the way over here? Why is there even a path all the way over here? There's nothing here. Exciting. So we're not done yet. I think there was another door, wasn't there? New research item, clay vase. A delicate clay vase with a primitive depiction of a two-headed serpent. So we didn't get the two-headed serpent key here. But maybe in the limbic rod chest. I don't usually see progression items, but at the same time, maybe. Oh, it also could be in the time loop. I got options here. Shove it in. Omni Prism Theta. Alright, that one's done. Alright, I gotta go back up. I gotta go back up because we gotta go do the time loop. I don't know if that was right, but I think it was. Why are there big statues of these motherfuckers here? The key could be in here. It's possible.
I found it! It's mine!
Oh!
No, whose is it, fucking little shit?
Okay. Okay.
I found it! It's mine!
No, whose is it, fucking little shit?
Although, what did he find? Might be the key of the serpents. Time loop. Francis's church collapsed. Oh, research item. Bronze figurine. A small bronze figure with arms outstretched and holding a crystal-like object. Oh, you know what I never found in this area? Hold on. You know what I never found in this area? I never found the door. And I know there's a door here. Opened, unopened. Vault of the Knoll. Search the vicinity of the waterfall. See, now I thought there was going to be... another waterfall up here. And there never was. Or I never saw it. So I'm still missing something here. Ah, itches. Now, okay, we're not leaving this place till I find that door. I'm trying to see... Trying to see if I can suss out where the waterfall is from here. Oh, I guess I should just... I guess the easiest way to do this is go back to the APC. Start there. Okay. The waterfall... or the only waterfall that I know of is there. I have not seen a door around it. Now my guess is that I can go further up into the mountains, but that just might not be true. We're right here because there's kind of steps. Oh, there's a thing here. I don't remember seeing this. I don't know why I didn't see this, but I don't remember seeing this. But I bet this is where the door is. Yeah, okay. Alright, what's the code? Man, I overlooked this quite a few times. S, vertical eye, fairy wand, straight line. Alright, S, vertical eye, fairy wand, straight line. Not that one. I guess thermometer. I feel like thermometer is a better way to explain it. Alright, we got a new glyph. For General Orca's eyes only, we continue the search for the fabled Auriga Museum, yet as of this moment, naught has been found. The intelligence extracted from the Squire of House Astor, through methods both unkind and thorough, proved to be naught but deception. His words led us into yet another labyrinthine folly, one of the countless quarries and subterranean hollows hewn by the legions of Lady Margaret's miners, diggers, and madmen. A fool's errand, rod of lies, the Squire has been executed for his deceit. The search endures, yet doubt creeps into my mind. Perhaps this supposed museum is but a phantom, woven from trickery by the late and loathsome Lord Astor, or worse, by his accursed twin progeny. I shall press on, but I do not like the scent of this hunt. May the scholars and his eye be with you. J.J. Zillion, Spymaster of the 3rd Full Guard Vanguard. Interesting. Okay. Our Eminish shroud is immense. How it even stands upright is unknown to me. Our calculations must not have been in vain, but perhaps it is truly Sethrus' hand that promptly guided our machinations. The device latches and twirls around the sphere. It is indeed most impressive. So much effort. Many have died or disappeared in its making. I pray for them all and I thank them. Jish and Haz have been atop the last walkway for the past days. Even if they shout, we cannot hear them from below. Such is the soaring height of our invention. They are effecting some final adjustments with the artesian auric palettes. The time draws anxiously close. It has been many years, so many failures and successes, but here we are. Will it work? Scholar Haz, the second of his name. Your glyph. Increase limbic energy, but reducing damage. Glyph. Another painting. Okay. All right, so we never found the key here. Might be in a different area. It's not a big deal. We're gonna go do Sinedra Forest now. Finish that off. There actually is a mystery here that I'd never even found. Eternity, I imagine, is the door. There's another mystery here that I never even found. See, I never considered that medium area. You can't see it from here. That's the reason. I always looked at the bottom, and then I took a brief look at the top, but I never even like paid attention that there was actually a middle section here. The only other mystery I can see... Hold on, let me find a save point to teleport back to the APC. There used to be one here, but I guess it disappeared when the APC disappeared. There's one over by the mines. There. The only other mystery that I can see there being in Vissa unless, actually, hold on, I should say. This one might have, we might have already had that one. Eternity. Maybe that was the one to the computer, and then the one with the question mark is the chest. There's a computer here that I never got into. Was it this one? No, that was a computer that explained the riddle to this area. There's another one. This one. 6 digits. Ah! That was the one I wrote down because they said, oh, the days and the hours in the day, the months in the year, the seasons, and then they said the 4 corners idea or whatever that note said. So I wrote down 241244. And, you know, it's 6 digits, so we try it, you know. Matching patterns. January 21st, 1993. On his deathbed, my father bestowed upon me a family heirloom. He called it a limbic rod and made a point to extol its significance to our family. It is the only vestige of my ancestry passed down to me through generations. I keep it on my person at all times. The Vigil has since discovered that many such rods exist. Yesterday, when we unearthed Pentos' tome right here in the Watcher's Nest, another rod was discovered in plain sight. Imagine my surprise when the limbic patterning matched my own heirloom rod. They seem to be part of a set. I began searching the archives here and discovered a curious resemblance between the rod's patterning and an ancient heraldry dating from the mid-10th century. It is associated with a fort deep in the Sinedra forest built on an outcropping overlooking the countryside. I have very little to go on, besides a crude visual depiction. I'll have to eventually make my way to Sinedra to find out more, which we've done, which we have both rods for that now. Compromised. January 23. There's been an attempt on my life. During my weekly errands in Golmore, I was fired upon at close range. If not for my fortuitous stumble at that exact moment, I would not be here. The black-clad shooter moved in to subdue me in close combat. He was remarkably well trained, but I was able to fracture his arm and wrest free of his clutches. I recovered a syringe of poison dropped by my assailant as he slipped into the shadows. The needle bears the acronym OMSIF. What does it mean? Who are these people hounding us incessantly? They must be part of a large organization. Their resources are immense. They know our names and exactly where to find us. I pray the nest remains out of their reach. Now that I've become compromised, I cannot stay here. How did this happen? Was I careless? It was a mistake returning to the nest. I must leave immediately for the safety of the others. Vitalis, if you find this, I'm terribly sorry. Damien Safter. Okay, that was the Eternity mystery. Okay, good.
Remember, what's our good? You close.
Alright, new glyph, active relic. Oh, this is the banishing for the grief. Very nice. Okay, so I'm assuming the last mystery is the lockbox. I don't know where that key is. Alright, so we did this. I don't know where that key is, but it's fine. Alright, we're gonna go to Sinedra Forest. Actually, we're gonna give her research, which might lead to having something big and long to read again, but we'll see. Oh, she's gonna want to talk about the new place. Oh, is she not gonna want to talk about the new place? I thought she would.
Let me know if you want.
No? Okay.
Find something interesting. Good
Well,
find.
you can have these.
I'll look it up.
Alright, neither of them completed anything. Alright. On that note, back to Sinedra. And we're finally opening that door with those rods, which will have a time loop behind it, so that's cool. I like that. I like that. All right. This one. This one. Let's see what's in here. All right, limbic door done. Is it just gonna be the time loop? There's the guardians in here, but. All right, it's time loop guardian. New drone module. From the private writings of General Furion, Year of Our Lady 918, the spire sings tonight, its halls echo with the walls of the damned, and I, their conductor, wield the baton of justice most exquisite. The Sabinian wretches, eyes wide with dread, are dragged forth like cattle to the altar of their reckoning. Oh, how their tongues betray them before the lash is even struck. They babble prayers, they barter with words that hold no coin in this sacred place. One, a youth of barely 20 summers, dared plead, thinking mercy could be plied from my hand. A foolish notion. His screams as the irons kissed his flesh did please me more than any psalm sung in chapel. He crumpled, as they all do, his body broken before the rack that had taken its full toll. It's always the proudest who shatter first. Their arrogance turns to mewing within a few strokes of the flail. What a righteous duty it is to cleanse the land of this vermin. What a gift to hold dominion over agony and watch it shape itself into obedience. The spire stands tall upon the bones of traitors, its stones steeped in the sweat of the suffering. Come down, another cartload of prisoners shall arrive. Another day's symphony awaits. That guy's kind of got some issues he's got to work through, I think. That's where I came from. Yeah, that's where I came from. New research item, ancient scroll. Nice. All right, let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. What is this? Oh! Oh, in his bed. Oh, man. Jesus. Sigma. All right, do it.
We'll suffer your fun no longer. DR, take you.
All right. And it's closed. Alright, there's nothing in here to do, but I guess that was the king or whatever. He was slaughtered. Oh, and this just comes... It's not even really a shortcut, because the other one is actually really closer to where I want to be. Alright. We got it closed. So now, anything I kill will stay dead. Anything I kill will stay dead. So really, I'll have to make a decision. I'll have to make a decision at some point. You know, if we 100% this, and it really depends on, it's honestly really just going to depend on some of the lengthier trophies, because there's a lot of trophies that are just like get everything, you know? So it's really going to depend on if those trophies, if we get them. And then that will determine if we double back to do like kill everything in each area. We did a lot. We've done about probably half of them, I would say.
Find anything? Interesting.
Oh, historian. All right. So like ones like these, because you have to find all the research items of certain categories. We found 3 now, which is pretty cool. I don't know how many there are.
My piece on the Hasselins, the ancient Hadeans.
All right, we'll read it. First Hadeans and the birth of Setharism. So I mean, if we, I would say if I get all of these, I'm pretty sure I can probably 100% the game, because then it's doing mysteries, which we've done a lot of them. And if I get stumped, I can always Google them and just finish it. And then we can go back and kill the creatures in the areas that we've destroyed the time loops in. So we might 100% this game. We might 100% this game. The First Hadeans and the Birth of Setharism, manuscript draft by Tanya Alvord, January 1993. Some would have you believe a great mystery is about the setting, atmosphere, suspense, red herrings, and the lot. Granted, they have their place, but I think it's much simpler than all of that. A great mystery must have simple questions beating at its heart. Who, where, when, and more importantly, why? When my partner brought back fascinating Hasselin artifacts, it immediately caused me to ask these questions. Who were they, and could their history parallel modern Hadia somehow? History tends to repeat itself. There are certainly some lessons the First Hadeans can whisper to us through the ages. The more I delved into the Hasselins' history, the more I felt it was a story worth telling. A large group of hunter-gatherers crossed into an undisturbed valley known today as Hadia. They adopted a sedentary lifestyle and developed a new belief system that would send them on a path of never-ending conflict. Suffice to say, I was hooked. The Great Crossing. A large and brave group of hunter-gatherers known as the Hasselins crossed the treacherous peaks that surrounded Hadia. The date of their arrival is largely debated amongst Hadean scholars. Some stand firm at 9000 BC, while others suggest much earlier, around 11,700. Recent discoveries in the mountains of northern Hadia support the latter date. Why would a large group of hunter-gatherers risk a perilous journey through some of Earth's most dangerous mountain ranges? I should know. I made the journey across, but with modern equipment and an expert guide. The Hasselins faced winds that could attain 160 miles per hour, sub-zero temperatures, and thin air. Some experts say it was due to a famine, while others suggest the Hasselins were escaping a natural disaster of epic proportions, Younger Dryas impact theory. Whatever the reason, the risk paid off. The Hasselins arrived in an untapped valley. They gazed upon rolling green hills, lush forests, fertile black earth, prairies, rivers, and lakes teeming with game and fish. The Hasselins had found paradise on Earth. New traditions. The 8 tribes of Hasselins settled the region and abandoned their roaming, hunting, and foraging traditions around 7000 BC. Harvesting the wild forms of cereal and domesticating the herds paved the way for agriculture. Permanent villages were formed and a new sedentary society was born. Through this significant transformation, one tradition remains intact: shamanism. Shamans were highly respected and regarded as individuals who could interact with the spirit world through altered states of consciousness. They had the power to heal the sick, communicate with spirits, and escort souls to the afterlife. Essentially, it was a belief system centered on supernatural phenomena. Early Hasselin society relied on the shaman to guide their newfound way of life. However, a mysterious shift in tradition swept across the Hadean Valley, suddenly leaving behind the shamanistic tradition. What caused the 8 Hasselin tribes to adopt a monotheistic belief system? The legend of the Eye of God. This mysterious and abrupt change from shamanism to a monotheistic belief system remains a mystery. What caused this sudden change from a deeply rooted tradition to a new faith? This new mystical narrative is complex. The benevolent god Setharis created humanity and all earthly creatures. He was the first into being, the uncreated, the divine, and the light. With him, another came to be. the great two-headed serpent TR. Jealous of Sethrus' creation, the great serpent threatened to destroy all humankind. A great battle ensued and Sethrus defeated TR. Before dying, TR sent out a mighty shriek, cursing humanity with overwhelming emotions and intoxicating passions, turning all of Sethrus' children into impulsive, irrational, and cruel creatures. In desperation, Sethrus ripped out his left eye and with it created a haven for his children. It was to be a place where humanity could come and find refuge and protection from the curse of TR. Humanity could always come to the eye of God and cleanse themselves of all sinful emotions. Sethrus, weakened by the battle and his sacrifice, sought refuge in the heavens, creating the bright star Sirius. Sethrus has promised to return someday and free humanity from the evil serpent's curse. Was all this real, or was it just a myth, a metaphor, a symbol that the Hadeans could hold onto in dire times? It's a symbol to help quell passions and emotions so Hadeans can control themselves before the rage, terror, ecstasy, and grief corrupt all. Like most religions, Sethrism, no matter how good the messaging is, ultimately falls prey to the same corruption, power. The rise of theocracy and palomism. Real or not, the Eye of God sent shockwaves through the entire Hadean Valley. At first, the story of the benevolent god Sethrus was passed on from generation to generation through oral tradition, a custom kept from shamanism. Nearly 1,000 years passed, during which a writing system evolved from primitive pictograms and runes to an official alphabet. With the advent of a written alphabet, several holy passages and interpretations of this new narrative were etched on clay tablets and later inked on parchments. During this period, around 2200 BC, there was a schism between the 8 tribes of Hasselans. Different interpretations and traditions began within each tribe, none more so than the 8th tribe, which outright refused Sethrism and opted to worship TR. That's a way to go. They were exiled, and their footprint can still be seen to this day in the Vissa Hills in the form of the Grand Serpent Mound. To avoid such rifts between the remaining tribes, priests of each tribe assembled to amalgamate all holy interpretations into one sacred book. This group of priests was known as the Illigat Conclave, named after the valley where the meeting occurred. The Illigat Conclave focused the new tenets of sacred writings around an ancient figure, a man mentioned under the simple name of Palom. The ancient scriptures described him as the courageous young man who first discovered the Eye of God. The Conclave canonized him as a saint. His holy image rapidly became the center of their new dogma, and the creed became officially known as Palomism. After many years, the Illigat Conclave created a unifying holy book, the Holy Kata. The theocracy was born as the Conclave proclaimed themselves the rulers of Hadea. According to the new Holy Kata, Sethrus and his earthly saint Palom recognized these individuals as the official rulers by divine right. The theocracy lasted thousands of years. As their power grew, so did the people's oppression, burdened by cruel acts and unjust social restraints, until a young erudite dared to pen a thesis. Reform in the Holy Wars. It all began in 400 AD, with a written thesis reacting to the abuses and indulgences of the Palomist Church. It merely demanded the separation of church and state. The work sparked a comprehensive and durable Reformation movement despite very few copies. This new wave of change grabbed the attention of influential individuals, which only solidified this trend. Reformed churches spread throughout the land, and the new religious denomination was eventually called Sabinism after the thesis' author Sabin Gao. Unbeknownst to the Sabinian reformists, the Illigat Conclave had secretly mobilized a holy army and sent it into reformist territories, massacring the innocent and burning every town and city. Upon hearing the news, a beloved Sabinian nobleman, Conde Colig, raised the first ever Sabinian reformist army. The two armies finally met in the Vissa Hills. Outnumbered 5-1, Conde Colig proved a cunning strategist and inflicted heavy losses on the Holy Army, winning the 3-day battle. The joy of victory was short-lived, as Conde famously said after the fight, "The choice between war and peace does not exist. Truth be told, it's a choice between war and endless war, and I'm afraid we've just chosen the latter." Conde Colig couldn't have been more right. On a scale never seen before, cruelty and wickedness deeply scarred the population on both sides of the conflict. Extreme acts of barbarity and savagery were commonplace, and Palomist traditionalists and Sabinian reformists were trapped in a never-ending cycle of destruction. The war raged across the land for 200 years with little repose. Several attempts at peace failed or were very short-lived. Deeply rooted hatred and the thirst for shedding the other side's blood seemed inconsolable. Sadly, this holy war was only the beginning. That's deep. That's deep, man. Alright. I think I have nothing else to do. So, Plains of Mist it is. There's level 1 threats and level 3 threats. I imagine that means there's 2. Time loops here. Oh no, it says clear. Now it says clear. So Plains of Mist have nothing. Or it might just... I think it's supposed to say unknown. I think it's supposed to say unknown. I do think it's supposed to say unknown. Usually it says unknown when you don't know. Yes, there's things here, which means there's time loops here. I can already see them. Alright, I don't know what this place is. I didn't expect another new area. I thought Vista Hills was where the other one was going to be. However, I was wrong. It's not a bad thing. I'm excited to continue doing this. I'm excited to continue playing. I'm excited to continue to see what there is. But guys, it is 1 o'clock, so we are going to stop there. We're doing pretty good, honestly. Like I said, I might shift this to a 100% playthrough. And, because I don't think it's going to take us long. I just have to make sure I don't pass any point of no returns. That's my big worry. Because I did hear on Reddit there were areas where people went into places and they failed certain things. But I don't know what those, like I wasn't paying close enough attention to remember or even recognize what those point of no returns were. And I don't know if it was just because there were certain events in certain areas that you needed to take care of at the time, which we're safe from, or there's just a hard point of no return where they don't warn you. I imagine perhaps both of those are the situations. For example, if you get everybody out of Maristan, is it Maristan? If you get everybody out of Maristan before you give everybody the flares, yeah, you fail those good deeds. Obviously. So I don't know what else there is. So, but if we can readily identify the point of no return, then we can probably do everything, because we're very close. We're very close. And the very odd thing that I missed or can't figure out or whatever, we can just Google. But there's unless there's like 10 other places, which I don't think there are, like there's so few things, you know what I mean? Like I said, we got one good deed. That's it. We've done all the other good deeds. They're all done. One good deed we haven't even discovered yet. And in terms of mysteries, we got one in Vista Hills. Okay, there's 3 here. That's fine. There's a limbic chest in Jelgin we haven't gotten yet. I think we need one more limbic rod for that. And there's this thing, which is not necessarily something I need to Google. I just need to go back there because I have a key, and I just have to figure out what it goes to. And then that might be the extent of solving that mystery. So we have very little. We have very little undiscovered. My bigger concern is like all the research items. That's my bigger concern. And then again, with time loops, that's easy. I mean, we've literally done all the time loops that we've come across. There's one here, apparently, at least one. But we've done all the time loops we've come across. All we have to do is go back and kill the enemies, which is pretty easy. Research. This would be the one. So yeah, there's 3 more things with research I need to find. This would be the big one. I would say this would be the big one. Can I find all of the research items? That might be the thing I'm up against. But if I do that, man, we can 100% this game. We can 100% this game. I think it's in the realm of possibility. But we'll look at that more tomorrow at 10 p.m. We're playing more Hell Is Us. Saturday is going to be co-op night, and then we'll be back to Hell Is Us next week for however long it takes to beat it. I think it's going to take longer than what I originally projected. I projected we would maybe finish this on Sunday, but I think this might bleed into Monday or Tuesday, especially if we go 100%. Mostly because I just don't know I don't know how much there is left. I didn't know there was another area. I really thought Vista Hills was going to be where the other key was. So I don't know how long this area is. I don't know if there's more areas. There's also an Act 3. I don't know what that is. So there's a lot of questions still. so I could be way off. I'm basing it on absolutely nothing. Absolutely zero. But yeah, there you go. Guys, if you're new here, we're on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, or TikTok, hit that follow button. And come back and hang out or jump around or do whatever you want to do. I got some shorts on TikTok and YouTube as some extra incentive, just things from the stream that I found funny. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock for more Hell Is Us. Thanks for watching. That's it. That's all. Good night.